Yeah, I have a list here so I don't forget anything that's important. So 2 years ago, I had a heart attack and I had a heart stent placed. I had a renal stent placed for high blood pressure. I suffer from an autoimmune illness with skin pain and sensitivity, outbreaks of pain in different parts of the body, tingling sensations on my tongue, extreme fatigue, the butterfly rash that's on your face, and digestive problems due to the leaky gut. I was not digesting protein or most foods efficiently. I was also experiencing some nerve pain in my right thigh with electrical, like lightning shocks up and down my thigh, and then it would go across, and it was very painful. I had severe leg and feet cramping as a side effect from the blood pressure and cardiac medicines I was taking. And I would get severe Charlie horse cramps in my feet, legs, and thighs at night. That was very debilitating. I also had severe bruising from the cardiac blood thinners, and I had bruises all over my body continually. I suffered from restless leg syndrome. I had severe heartburn and had some scar tissue in my esophagus that was hurting when I ate certain foods or when I drank cranberry juice or wine. I had to take antacid tablets and calcium at night to stop that pain. And since my heart attack, my legs didn't work. I walked around like a baby deer with wobbly legs. They were super sensitive, and my feet, knees, and legs, they hurt all of the time. I spent most of my time with my feet up in the recliner. And when I walked, my feet were so swollen that they were squashy. So I would go to have a pedicure, right? And the foot and leg massage part of the pedicure was extremely painful. My brain was struggling. I had extensive brain fog and memory loss. I was forgetting words and I couldn't finish complex sentences. And I was struggling to reason and to think clearly. I also had extreme insomnia, and I had to use 4 different types of sleep aids, all layered together to get to sleep and stay asleep through the night. You know, the quality of my life was horrible, and I was gaining weight. Nothing I did could stop the weight gain. You know, my dad passed away 23 years ago from a stroke and brain cancer. My mom passed away a year ago from dementia. There's also a history of extreme heart disease in my mom's family, and she lost her eyesight, and my grandmother lost her eyesight. And through the dementia, she was also suffering with sundowner syndrome, which causes extreme insomnia and severe dementia at night. And watching her suffer was like a glimpse into my own future. I was fast approaching the same fate, and because I was having all the same symptoms. Man, I was praying for healing, and I was praying for a way to stop my body from breaking down, because I didn't want to suffer the same fate as my mom or my dad. But you know, how do you fight against your family's own medical history? How do you fight against your own genes and your own DNA? For me, it was going to take an act of God. Well, I had a friend and a former business associate, Sue Emily, who shared the stem cell technology with me, which I promptly rejected for 7 months because my attitude was so bad. I just didn't want to be bothered with that. So Sue kept trying to communicate with me. And after 7 months, I thought, enough is enough. I'm fed up. And I gave her a message that said, thank you, Sue, but no, thank you. But God stopped me. And he said, do not say no. Wow. There is something here for you. So I erased the no thank you. And I said, yes, please send me the information. So a week later, I got in the envelope, I got 5 days of stem cell technology and instructions on what it was going to do for me. And I read that it could take up to 3 months for you to see any of the deep healing. And I'm like, 3 months? I have 5 in the envelope. 3 months, I've got to have more than 5. So I texted Sue and I said, Sue, I got to have 90 days worth of this stuff. And you know what? I'm not going to pay retail. So how am I going to get this for wholesale? And so Sue hooked me up. And that's how I started my journey. So I started the stem cell technology on October the 25th of 2022. And after 7 days, I went for my pedicure, right? And I was bracing myself for the pain and there was no pain. Well, that was different. And I noticed too that the bruising from my blood thinners wasn't quite as bad. And I kind of felt a little bit better. But for the next 30 days, I just wasn't paying attention. You know, you just go about your life. But I always put my patch on in the morning, and it's like my body was craving the patch. At day 45, I was Christmas shopping with my husband. And when we were shop, I would have the cart and I would have to lean on the cart, and he would walk faster than me. And I would always be behind and he would be ahead. But this day I had some energy and I was feeling good and I was on a mission. So I'm walking. I'm like, wait a minute, where's my husband? And I turn around and he's way behind me with the cart and I am out front. I'm like, well, that's different. So I could tell that something was changing. And you know what? My legs were working.
Wow.
My legs were working like normal. So at day 60 of using the stem cell technology, I noticed that I felt very, very different. Something deep inside my body was changing. My legs were stable and working properly, and all of the swelling in my legs, feet, and body was gone. I was sleeping soundly through the night naturally, so I got rid of all of the sleep aids. My brain fog was gone. I was thinking and reasoning clearly, and my memory was excellent. I was even experiencing some photographic memory episodes, and that had never happened to me before. And I was articulate, and I was using words in my vocabulary that were long, and I had forgotten that those words even existed 60 days before. So I was really excited about that. My autoimmune symptoms were also not as severe, and the butterfly rash on my face was almost completely gone. The electrical shocks that I had been experiencing in my legs and in my thigh, that was gone. And any pain breakouts from my autoimmune illness, it was gone in a few days instead of a few months. The Charlie horse leg cramps and the restless leg syndrome pain was gone. The heartburn and pain in my esophagus was gone. The bruising from my blood thinners was gone. You know, in mid-December, God spoke to me again and he said, you need to change your diet. He said, stop eating the starchy carbs. He said, switch to high protein, low carb, because up until that point, I wasn't digesting the proteins very well at all. So I listened to God, and that's when the rapid body reduction started. So on December the 25th, I was a size 20. On January the 12th, I had dropped 2 dress sizes. On January the 25th, I had dropped another dress size. And on February the 25th, I was down to a size 12. That's 4 dress sizes in 60 days.
Wow.
It was 120 days on the stem cell technology, but when the body started to drop the inches and the weight, it was 60 days. So I'm very, very thankful. So the first 60 days I used just the X39. And then I heard David Schmidt talk about how the ion patch aided the X39 with inflammation. So then I added the ion patch in January. Then I heard Marcy Preble explain how the X49 was the sculpting patch, and it aided in the fat reduction and lean muscle buildup. So since I was losing the inches so fast, I added the X49 in February to aid with the building my muscles and to reduce the body fat. Also, the X49 helps the brain and the heart, which are the 2 biggest family medical history challenges that I'm trying to prevent. So I've been on the patches for 4 months and 10 days. And now I'm seeing the muscle definition in my calves and my legs and my arms. And I can feel it in my abdomen underneath. I still have fat to lose, right? But I can feel the muscles tightening and firming in my abdomen. That's really exciting for me. I used to have sore gums and swollen gums and receding gums, and now that's gone. The gums are healing and they're starting to regenerate. And also, you know, the X49 is the bone density patch. And so I have this irritating space in between my 2 front teeth, which I don't like. And all of a sudden, it's not so irritating. I swear that the teeth are growing and closing up that gap. So I'm very thankful for that as well. You know, my skin is changing, the collagen is stronger, and the wrinkles are less prominent. The skin in my whole face and body is tighter. I just feel like 10 years younger, and I'm so filled with hope and joy and happiness. You know, at first I didn't want to be bothered, and now I can't stop talking about the stem cell technology because, you know, God had a conversation with me where he said, you don't just get to take your healing and go on your merry way. You have to share this with other people because there's a lot of people suffering. So now I just have to open my mouth and I have to share about the stem cell technology. And I'm just thankful to Sue that she didn't give up on me. She kept watering me, like Marcy says. And I'm just really, really thankful to God for this healing touch.